What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ali, and today we're back again here with another video here on the channel, with another episode here from the At the Buzzer podcast. Today we're talking Thunder basketball. Today we're talking about the best team in the NBA, and there's nothing, there's no argument not to say that this is the best team in the NBA. There's no argument to say that this team should not repeat the NBA title. They're the favorites, and today we're talking about them. We're talking about what they did this summer and my expectations going ahead into the season for the Thunder. If you don't know, I'm a Thunder fan, so this is like literally a really deep insight as well because I follow all the news. I really follow the Thunder. Okay, I'm a Oklahoma City Thunder fan. Okay, so anyways, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to get every new video here on the channel. And let's get right into it. So let's get a flashback about what happened in Game 7 against the Indiana Pacers. The Thunder won the championship literally 4 months ago against the Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Haliburton went out with an Achilles injury. Maybe everything could have been different, but I guess we'll never know. Anyways, the first thing the Thunder did this offseason is re-signing with AJ Mitchell. They signed with re-signing with AJ Mitchell on a $9 million contract on 3 years, which is basically $3 million a year. They declined the team's option for Mitchell, and now they signed him to a 3-year deal here. AJ Mitchell has actually been really good last season. He's played a lot of minutes because of Coach Mark Dignault. He gives a lot of minutes to players. Anyways, AJ Mitchell has proven to be a really good backup point guard. He can carry the ball very well, can create a lot of scoring opportunities, and he fits quite well into the Thunder offense. And he's a decent defender for his size, to be honest with you. So AJ Mitchell, this is a steal, to be honest. Signing him to a 3-year, $9 million contract is such a huge steal for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Man, to be honest with you, if I'm gonna give him a comparison to his playing style, I'm gonna say Jalen Brunson. Maybe he plays the same way as Jalen Brunson, almost the same size. Eh, You know, he looked really good in summer league this season. He looked like literally after a game or two, they pulled him out of summer league because he was just too good to be playing there. Preseason, I think he played against the Indiana Pacers. He got injured, but I think he proved, and he only played one game in preseason, and he was cooking. In the first half, I think he got injured at the start of the second half, if I'm not wrong. Brooks Barrenheiser, the new rookie, stepped on his leg, on his ankle, and he has been injured since then and didn't feature in the rest of the preseason games. Then we got the draft, the players that the Oklahoma City Thunder drafted. We got Brooks Barrenheiser, selected with the second round, 44th pick, if I'm not wrong. And then you got Thomas Sorber, selected with the 15th pick, which was originally the Miami Heat's pick. It was top 14 protected or top lottery protected. But as Miami Heat made the playoffs, pick goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder here. To be honest, it would have been better if for the Thunder if the Heat made the lottery this season, as the pick would have conveyed to a 2026 unprotected first round pick. So maybe if the Heat was bad, the Thunder could get a high pick in the draft, but that's not going to happen anymore as the Heat gave them the pick last season. Thomas Sorber, actually a really good college player. Man, I've seen him a lot in college, but he didn't play a lot. Okay, I've seen some highlights, but I can't say my opinion about the highlights. He's a really good player from what I've seen from the highlights. Defensively, his numbers were actually really good. I think he averaged 2 blocks per game per season. Per season, man. Oh my goodness, man. Okay, per game. Okay, he averaged 2 blocks per game. Okay, but I think he got an injury in college related to his knee, and then he was out for almost the rest of the season in college. But the Thunder were so high on him, they took him on with the 15th pick. And to be honest, yeah, man, there was Carter Bryant with the San Antonio Spurs with the 14th pick. I actually thought he would fill for us, okay? But I guess I'm happy with Thomas Sorber. But we got breaking news a month ago that he got injured with an ACL injury in the draft. He was playing the scrimmage and he got injured with an ACL injury. He underwent a really successful surgery and he's going to miss the rest of the season. So, yeah, man, to be honest, that's gonna hurt a bit because you want Thomas Sorber to develop the season because you have Hardenstein, Chet Holmgren, and with the contracts with Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, we're gonna get right to that. But I mean, In the next couple of seasons, the Thunder are just gonna have to manage and try to find ways to stay under the second apron. That was one of the ways you could literally, if you see Thomas Herbert taking a leap, you could get rid of Isaiah Hartenstein because he has a 2-year contract still left on his contract, if I'm not wrong. And then you could replace him with Thomas Herbert. The Thunder, they're really stable because of the draft picks they have, but they got to draft well in the next couple of years if they want to keep their young core together of Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Okay, so that's really, you just need good scouts. You need people who can play at a really good player at a really good level on their rookie contracts. Okay, you need players to be NBA ready. And there's a lot of players. And the Thunder has been drafting really good players the last couple of seasons. Nikola Topic, Kaysen Wallace. There's a lot of good players that has been drafted by the Thunder, and especially in the second round, they have drafted Jalen Williams, the bigger Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins, maybe Isaiah Joe. He was selected second rounder by the Sixers in 2020, but they got him for free, I think, because he was waived back then. And look at how he's turning out right now. And they logged in Wiggins and Isaiah Joe to very good contracts last season, probably like a 15 mil contract for 5 years, and the contract keeps going down every season. They receive less every season, which is really good for the future for the Thunder. Okay. Then next we have the Jalen Williams, the bigger Jalen Williams. He has re-signed also with the team. He re-signed on a 24 million contract on 3 years as well, with a 9 mil per year contract, and they also declined the team option for him, which was $2.1 million contract. But they probably just, you know, giving him the contract he deserved. He's a really good player, especially in the Denver Nuggets series. He played a really good series, especially on his minutes against Nikola Jokic. He was actually holding himself. I think, as a person who watched the full series, the full minutes of Jalen Williams, I think he was probably the best defender we had play on Nikola Jokic. There was minutes where he was coming off playing for Hardenstein. Hardenstein looked a bit. He wasn't looking dominating in this series. I think Jalen Williams did a better job in that series. Maybe the rest of the season, against the Wolves, against the Pacers, even against the Grizzlies in the first round, he wasn't used a lot. But against the Nuggets, Mark Daigneault found him to be effective against Nikola Jokic. Yeah, he's not gonna stop Nikola Jokic. Jokic is Jokic, okay? But he was he was the most player that's, he was the one that can only stop him, okay? At least let his numbers get reduced a bit, okay? But you're not gonna stop Nikola Jokic anyways, okay? Anyways, that's a really good contract for him. And I've figured out the Thunder, especially with AJ Mitchell in the third year for AJ Mitchell and the third year for Jalen Williams, they both have a team option contract, I think, if I'm not wrong. The Thunder doesn't sign players to player options anymore. This is what a lot of teams has been doing, like the Houston Rockets, for example. They have been resigning players with a little bit with only team options, no player options. Okay, because this gives the player, maybe he played bad in those 2 seasons. What if we want to get rid of him? Now he's gonna stuck with us because we gave him a player option. This doesn't happen anymore. The Thunder made sure that it's a team option. So if we're happy with him, we're resigning with him. If we're not, he can leave as a free agent. Okay. And then next, let's get right into the big news. We got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We signed him with the Thunder on a 4-year, 285 million maximum contract extension. Of course, this contract is going to start in 2026, 2027. Not next season. Next season, he still, I think, receives 35 million next season, and then the same thing will happen with Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren when we get wide into that. Shai Alexander definitely deserved. He's going to stay with the franchise if he stays on that contract until 2030, 2031 season, which is literally almost 5 to 6 years from now, cementing his prime in Oklahoma City as he's now 27. So when that contract gets done, he's probably 32 or 33. He's starting to getting to the end of days of his prime. You know what I mean? So that's so in his prime, he's gonna stay in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Amazing deal for the Thunder, of course. And then you got the Jalen Williams extension. Jalen Williams re-signed with the Thunder on a 5-year rookie maximum contract extension, $287 million contract. A really good deal for the Thunder as well. And I think it's absolutely deserved for Jalen Williams, especially with what he did in the playoffs last season. Proved that he can actually be the second star that I think, to be honest with you, Jalen Williams and other teams like tanking teams, teams that doesn't have number one option, if he went there, he could average 26, 27 points per game. But I'm not saying that Shea is pulling him back or something. You know what I mean? I think they both complement each other perfectly. Really, probably the best duo in the NBA right now. Um, man, Jalen Williams is just so good, man. Especially he was playing with a torn ligament in his wrist, if I'm not wrong. And it happened, I think he said, in the Suns game on 9th of April last season, which is basically like 4 to 5 games before the playoffs. He got injured, and he said in a video on his channel that he took 28 shots throughout the playoffs to be able to play through the pain. Okay, so that is really, it's really brave to do something like that. Something like that could change your career forever. You might not be able to shoot correctly. Maybe your hand is beyond damaged, even if you become healthy again. You know what I mean? But man, he has absolutely been dominating the playoffs. To be honest with you, nobody, not even me, man. I'm a Thunder fan. I should know if something happens to our players. Like, not even Thunder fans, not even Thunder reporters, people who are literally there every day in and out, have known this until the playoffs ended. Literally, man. And he was cooking. Like, you could see, like, if you see him in the playoffs, you see this guy is literally healthy and he is perfectly good to go. But man, sometimes, just like I tell you, you never know what happens behind the scenes with the players, with the staff. There's some stuff that's kept to a secret, and I think that's perfectly well. And I think they did a good job keeping it a secret. To be honest with you, it's better. Maybe people would start to attack him more if they knew he was injured. You know what I mean? Nobody knew. Okay, so and he played him perfectly amazing in the playoffs. He dropped 40 points in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Really crucial game when the series tied 2-2. Whoever gets a 3-2 lead is literally going to be a one game away from the NBA Finals, and he goes out and just 40 bomb. Okay, so that's crazy. Okay, anyways, perfectly good contract for the Thunder. Now let's get to Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren re-signed with the Thunder on a $241 million maximum rookie extension on 5 years as well. So that means Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, they're both 23. They're both gonna go in this contract until they reach their primes, which is 28 years old, maybe. Okay, so when you think about it, like, these guys are really playing at a really high level, and they're only in their 20. They're only still like at the start of their careers. They're 23 and 24, and they're playing amazing basketball. So what's gonna happen if these guys reach their prime, man? It's gonna be really scary, especially with SGA hitting into his prime. Man, that's gonna be crazy for the franchise, to be honest with you. Joe Holmgren re-signed with a bit less money than Jalen Williams, of course. We know what happens because of the ACL injury in his first season. Last season, the hip fracture injury that made him miss 50 games. Jalen Williams has been more consistent throughout the playing time, throughout even, like, right now, I consider Jalen Williams as the second option in the franchise, okay, as the second scorer. When I'm looking at who, after SGA, can score the ball, it's going to be Jalen Williams for me, okay? I'm just being honest, okay? Chet Holmgren is probably the best defender on the team. He's an absolute beast on defense, but still, I think Chet needs to take an offensive lead. I think he is gonna get there, but it's not there yet. Okay, so yeah, man, I think defensively he's elite. He can still get better, of course, but so far he has been elite when he has been playing, especially in the playoffs. I think he got a record for blocks in Game Seven, which is he dropped 5 blocks in Game Seven, which was the record for the finals. And man, he has been cooking throughout the playoffs. To be honest with you, I think he has been the best defender in the 2024-25 playoffs and the playoffs for the 2023-2024. Last 2 playoffs, I think he has been the best defender in the league. Okay, he has been dominating, and he has been getting better all season, man. If you don't mind me saying, I think he was actually playing really good at a really good level offensively at the start of last season. The first 9 games before he got injured in that Golden State Warriors game, he was absolutely brilliant. He was cooking. Offensively, he was just dominant. Defensively, I think he was averaging like 20 points per game or something. Offensively, was with 3 or 4 blocks. So that was actually brilliant, man, for Shep. But then the fracture came, and to be honest with you, he returned, but it was never the same. His movement looked so bad, so different. My guy couldn't even rotate himself correctly on defense. His body was just, you know, like he recovered. He was healthy, but he still haven't got like any momentum. There's nothing, man. It looks like his body returned to his rookie season. You know what I mean? And he was looking so bad at some points in the regular season, and he was not playing back to backs as well until the playoffs. He was playing. He was cooking some games, but to be honest with you, even in the playoffs, he played really good. Defensively, he was elite. He was good, elite maybe, but offensively, he was a bit poorly. I'm gonna say that, okay. But I think this season with a full summer workout here for Chet, you have been seeing in the videos. I think he's gonna be cooking, man, offensively and defensively. And I think he played the last preseason game against the Denver Nuggets. He looked pretty good in the minutes he played. He played only in the first half, and that was the only preseason game he played because he had I think he had shoulder soreness, if I'm not wrong, and he missed all the preseason games except for that one. There's no need to rush him back, of course, but I think he's going to be ready for opening night against the Rockets. And let's head right into that, okay? You know what? Before heading into that, we're just gonna talk about the second apron restrictions. Now the Thunder after re-signing the guys, okay. Jalen Williams is gonna be earning only 6 million next season. Chet is gonna be receiving 13 mil next season. So all the big three guys, they're gonna be getting their contracts at the start of the 2026-2027 season, not this season, okay. So this season you have flexible your cap is flexible. There's flexibility in your cap space, so that's going to be really good for the Thunder. But, but this next summer is going to be really deciding for the Thunder. It's going to be really huge, okay? Because it's going to be affecting the next couple of seasons. You know what I mean? Now, after signing all those guys, they're going to be all earning $822 million combined. Okay, so that's a lot, to be honest with you. With the second apron restrictions, man, it's been getting tougher, to be honest, every season with that restrictions. But man, I think we can do it. And even Sam Presti said that they're not even worried about it. Okay, and especially the draft picks helps you with future flexibility. Okay, especially if you draft good guys that can contribute at a really good level at rookie contracts. Okay, and then let's get to opening night. I think Thunder are going to be without a couple of players, if I'm not wrong. Isaiah Joe, AJ Mitchell, Jalen Williams is not. I don't think he's going to be ready for opening night, and I think Nikola Topic is also out for opening night. Kenrich Williams is out for opening night. That's a lot of list for the Thunder. Kenrich Williams went a surgery on his knees, and he was going to be out for just 6 to 8 weeks. Nikola Topic got an injury in his groin, and he's going to be out for a month. And then AJ Mitchell and Isaiah Joe got injured in the same game, in the Pacers game that we talked about, okay? And they both got injured. Isaiah Joe got injured in his knees, AJ Mitchell an ankle injury. Um, then you got Jalen Williams still recovering from surgery after his wrist, torn ligament in his wrist, okay? But we have seen some, updates that he has been shooting with his right hand in pre-game warm-ups in the Denver Nuggets game before the Nuggets game. Was shooting in pre-game warm-ups with his right hand, so that's a good sign. He's starting to shoot with it. Probably still gonna be involved in 5-on-5 contact first, get ready, and then he can start the season with the guys, okay? And I think he's probably gonna miss probably the first 2 weeks of the season, 3 weeks maybe, to recover, to get back into fitness, to get back into stamina, his stamina back, everything to be able to play at a high level. So Shea is gonna be having to carry a lot offensively this next month probably, and it's gonna be a bit hard to be honest with you. But I think we can do it, man. We got the depth, we got everyone, but hopefully the players that are injured, gets back faster. And let's get my expectations for opening night as a Thunder fan. You want the truth? It's either Shea's gonna go for 50 or 60, and we're gonna win the game. Plus, Chet Holmgren goes for 30 or something, or the Rockets are probably. If I'm choosing, I think the Rockets are gonna win this one. Okay, I don't want to say this, but yeah, man. To be honest with you, there's a lot of injuries, especially the one that actually affects me the most is AJ Mitchell. Man, without him on the court, we really lack playmaking depth. Okay, Casey Walls is good, but I think AJ Mitchell proved last season he was too good. He was too good when And then when Chase sat on the bench, he was just too good. You know what I mean? But hopefully he gets back from his injury as fast as we can. Okay, but I think on opening night, I'm gonna give the Rockets the win here. That's just a prediction. Okay, don't take this is just an opinion. Okay, I'm a Thunder fan. I'm telling you the Rockets are gonna win. This affects me mentally, by the way, because I want us to win on opening night. Okay, on championship and getting on championship rings and losing would suck. Okay, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, I'm I'm gonna be biased here. Okay, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyways, man, I think the Thunder are set for the future, man. So that's it, guys. That's it, guys. There's just nothing I can say here anymore. Okay, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to get every new video. And we'll see you in the next one.